before.
All right, I'm going to go live now. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time joining us, I'm so happy you decided to click this video. You should go back and watch some of the others. There are over 150 of these, which is way too many for any one person to ever watch. So watch some of them so those view counts go up. They're pretty good. Also, if you're not a member of the Facebook group, go ahead and join that. If you search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video, that's where you can all get all the information about this show, including how to be on it. Still booking shows in February right now, including one coming up this Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Josh Poirier is hosting movies that feature wrestlers. And we still have space on that one, as well as a few other shows. So if you're interested in being a part of this show, reach out to me either there or on Instagram and Twitter at IMDbGame. Tonight on the show, we're doing rotten movies. These are movies that on the Rotten Tomatoes website are under 30% fresh, according to critics. That means at least 70% of critics didn't like these movies. And we've already done one of these that was rotten movies I like. There's some good rotten movies, and we might get to some of them tonight. Or we might just do the bad shit. Who knows? Only one way to find out, and that's by bringing in our guest tonight. Joining me on the show are JD Stephans, Jessica Mayotte, Marty Viscosi, and LC Clark. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Woo!
Now, before we talk to any of you individually, let's get some points on the board and figure out who I talk to first with a round of keywords. If you haven't watched in a while, we're doing mini games now. This is one we've done quite a few times. Basically, on IMDb, these anonymous weirdos get to add keywords for movies. These can be super specific or super general. There's no rhyme or reason. I don't think there's any filter process. What I'm going to do is start reading through some keywords for a movie. As soon as you think you know what the movie is, yell it out. No penalty for wrong answers. We're just going to keep going until one of you says the name of this movie. I believe every time I do this, I try to make it so that it's pretty obvious at the end. But if you want points, guess soon. This first keyword movie features the keywords barefoot, bird bite, candy cinema, rich snob,
Willy Wonka,
mother-in-law,
Big Mama's house,
drive-in theater, abominable snowman character, aptitude testing, office politics, self-sacrifice, embezzler, character credited as self, child kidnapping, chisel tool,
Snow Day,
reference to the B-52s, strong child.
The Flintstones?
It is the Flintstones, the 1994. The Flintstones has a 21% on Rotten Tomatoes.
The band, it clicked for a second. I'm like, I had to think. Yeah.
No, they play the BC-52s.
Yep.
The other keywords I included: strong child, bowling alley, reboot of series, live action adaptation, Neanderthal, 1 million BC, dinosaurs humans coexist, modern Stone Age humor, and Barney Rubble character. These are all keywords that will get you to the Flintstones. Jessica got the first point there. That means welcome back. I believe you were on the last episode, so or were you not? Were you watching?
No, I was watching.
Yes, you were. You were on last Monday, though.
Yeah.
Either
was
way, every time she's on, it's so wonderful. Jessica Mayotte, welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you doing tonight?
My dog has a UTI, but she'll be fine. You know.
No.
But, yeah.
You got
Yeah.
cranberry juice in the dog dish?
I think she's been eating cat poop, so I don't think it's helping her. So
You should put some cranberry juice in the cat food then.
yeah, well, like the little pills.
We'll human centipede this. It'll get there eventually.
Wow.
We're off to a terrible start tonight.
Great.
Jessica,
I love it.
welcome.
Why I don't want to send the link to my boss.
Have you already sent the link to your boss?
No, I've got the text all written and everything.
Yeah, it's always something when people have people who employ them watch this show.
I really thought I was just making conversation.
Well, Jessica, I always ask a version of this. I will ask two different versions of it. Do you have a bad movie that you really like, or do you have a movie that you think is really underrated that you like, that you think people don't?
I have a movie I don't like. I can.
Yeah, why not? Let's do that too.
I had this conversation with you before. Like I'm ready for this. So there's like 3 apologies first, because and you'll know why I watched this when I tell you. But the first apology is because it's based off of a true story and people die. So I apologize for that. The third is my dad has said that my aunt knew one of the people that died, I think, vaguely. And the other apology, which she's probably not watching, my best friend that you know took me to see this movie for my birthday. And it's The Perfect Storm. Like, it was, I don't know how I watched it, but probably because it was George Clooney in that movie. But it was the most boring movie I've ever seen in my life. Like, I couldn't.
I really thought you were going to say Patriots Day. Like,
it was going to be a Mark Wahlberg movie.
Yeah. Like, I know someone who was in it, like all these things. I'm like, I would apologize for that.
That's where I thought I was going to.
No.
Well, it is rotten, but just beats the threshold on this show at a 46%.
Yeah, I looked it up. I'm like, it doesn't fall into the category, but you know.
The fact that you even looked it up is way, way more than anybody needs to do for this. Also, shout out Lloyd's in the comments.
Yay!
Well, Jessica, welcome back. Also returning to the show, if you like them on the show tonight, you should tune in later this month and watch them host the show. The last time they did, somebody thinks it's one of the best shows, if not the best episode of this show of all time. Elsie Clark, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Lloyd, as always.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good. As I mentioned, I'm having some trepidation about hitting send on my phone.
I mean, all you have to do is when you see them tomorrow, say, "Oh my God, I forgot."
I forgot. Yeah.
As I was going out the door, she reminded me a second time.
Also, she might be able to look it up after the fact, so we can have this whole conversation about this.
And then
It's fun
she'll
that
go,
we go out
"Oh,
live
she
and
was
can't remove
contemplating."
anything.
From experience, if people look up your name on YouTube, it will come up.
True.
It depends on what name.
Exactly. I go by my government name at work. So
Well done.
well, anyway.
Anyway,
I'm
LC,
good though. I'm good.
do you have any bad movies you like, or underrated movies, or just fucking movies that you hate and want to tell people not to watch? There's so many ways to go with this.
Yeah, you just gave me 3 different categories. All right. So a movie I know is awful because you listed it in a post on the Facebook group or something. That I loved as a kid is Problem Child 2. It's like one of the worst, like quantifiably one of the worst movies. And I'm sure if I saw it for the first time today, I'd be like, this is childish. But I loved it a lot at the time. There's a scene where everyone's on a tilt-a-whirl and, one person throws up and then everyone throws up. And I mean, those scenes are funny. Scenes like that are just funny.
Real quick before you continue, the critic consensus on this movie: crude, rude, puerile, and pointless. Problem Child 2 represents a cynical nadir in the family marketed entertainment. 7% by critics.
7%.
42% by audiences.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It was totally rude, crude, and lewd.
Just like
fun.
you.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I felt a kinship.
I mean, honestly, that could also describe this show. Crude, rude, puerile, and pointless.
Isn't John Ritter in it?
I know he's in the first one. Did he come back for the sequel?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
He sure did.
He did.
Anyway, did you have any others that you wanted to talk about?
All right, real quick.
Uh-huh.
The movie I hate the most is the movie I hate the most, and I could just like fucking talk about it, but won't. Is M. Night Shyamalan's Split. I hate that movie so much.
I've not heard good things about it. Though
someone I was maybe gonna hook up with, instead of just like being like, let's go hook up, was like, let's watch a movie. I choose M. Night Shyamalan's Split. And so he doesn't even know that was the moment
chances.
when he chose not to get laid. Like, it's
78% critics, 79
critics
audience.
are idiots. Only 22% of critics can be trusted. And then just a movie that I wanted to recommend, because I think the audience consensus, it's been targeted, and by like Baptists and shit to make it seem like a worse movie than it is, but it's actually like very, very good. Is Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul.
I loved that movie.
Right?
That was so good.
Sterling K. Brown, Regina Hall. I feel like it's marketed, or like it looks like kind of like a big loud comedy, and that's not what it is. But it's really good. It's a great fucking Regina Hall role.
How has she never been nominated for anything?
People are idiots.
71% critic, 26% audience.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Way more people liked this movie than that.
Yeah, no, I remember reading reviews for this where it's a bunch of people who read Jesus in the title and then got angry at all the language and sex and
yeah. Anyway, so that's just like a very good movie.
I mean, great choices all around. Thank you, Elsie.
Sorry.
Also returning to the show, again, always thrilled to have them here. Marty Viscosi, welcome back.
Woo!
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm going to apologize in advance for my camera because it's from Five Below. And I forgot I work computer at work.
And out of 10, you'd probably give that
5 Below.
Yep.
It's real bad. Though it's lasted a lot longer than I thought it was gonna. So I'll give it that.
Well, Marty, you've had plenty of time to think about this weird question that I've asked, 8 or 9 versions of.
And I only needed a few seconds.
What is it, Marty?
Nick, you and I both know it's Sinister 2.
Sure is. 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Sure does.
Really?
My friend made me this bumper sticker for Christmas. It says honk if you've seen Sinister 65 times. And a little picture of James Ransone.
That is the greatest gift.
I'm waiting for it to not freeze the second I peel the back off outside, but it's going on my Prius.
There you go.
Yep.
Unrelated, just because I looked up Sinister 6.
Sinister 2? Excuse me?
Yep, that's what I meant. Don't know where Sinister 6 came from.
I would watch 4 more. I would watch a lot more.
You know what movie has 19% on Rotten Tomatoes, which feels like a crime, is Sister Act 2, Back in the Hat.
What? That is not okay. That is unacceptable. I am offended right now.
How can you do that to the powerhouse that is Whoopi Goldberg, Kathy Najimy, and Lauryn Hill?
That was a good movie, though.
It's so fun.
The first one.
It was. I liked the second one.
It was so good. Lauryn Hill was the star, right? I think. Right?
Yeah, I mean, this is like pre-Fugees.
I don't care. She sang amazing.
No, she was amazing in that. It's just such a fun movie.
In that vest? I had a question there, okay?
Anyway, sorry to derail from the Sinister 2 talk, Marty.
You're cool. Don't worry, I've got plenty to go around forever. I also want to piggyback off of Jessica and say the actual captain from The Perfect Storm came to do a speech on leadership at the camp that I used to work at that we were talking about before this started. And it was honestly one of the best speakers I've ever seen.
I'm sure that just the movie.
Yeah. He told a much better story than
I'm sure
they should have put him in the movie.
You're right.
But he's a very, very good speaker. But yeah. Movie not so good.
Well, again, excellent choice that I'm afraid to watch at this point.
Nick,
because I don't want to.
Are you going to let the government tell you what to do? Are you going to let?
No, I'm going to let your love for it prove that I should never see it.
It's not horrible. I liked it. I watched it. I liked it.
Thank you. I feel like we do disagree on a lot of movies.
I mean, this is how I feel about most movie recommendations. If somebody's like, "Oh, I really love this movie," it's like, great, thanks. Now I have a responsibility to either also like this movie or hurt you in your soul.
I'm just saying, my birthday is May 14th. If anybody is looking for something to gift me with on that day, the knowledge that you gave this movie a try would be enough.
So I have to watch Sinister 1 first?
That's what I asked.
But
no.
And you can also just read the Wikipedia article.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sinister 1, that has Ethan Hawke in it, though, doesn't it?
What?
Isn't Sinister 1 Ethan Hawke? Or is it somebody else?
Well, it's Ethan Hawke, and then James Ransone plays the cop character.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the sequel, Sinister 2, they make that character the main character because, spoiler, Ethan Hawke's dead.
Real Evan Almighty kind of situation.
Yep.
Did Jim Carrey die in that movie?
No, but you know what I just found out unrelated to any of this? There was a pitch for a sequel to Bruce Almighty that wasn't Evan Almighty. It was called Brucifer.
I want that
movie. And
Bruce
then meets the devil and gets the powers of the devil.
But that's so much better.
In a heartbeat. I went to see Bruce Almighty in theaters with my friend Kristen, whose dad should not have taken us to see that movie. I would see a movie called Brucifer in a heartbeat.
Right?
All right, I will watch Sinister 2 eventually.
Thank
and
you.
If
May 14th.
And I can just keep saying that until time ends.
They watch it on their birthday and you'll be fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Finally returning to the show, as they've done so many times in 2023. January has now become February to February.
You're
JD
welcome.
Stephans, welcome back to the show.
Hey, what's up? How's everyone? I'm here to draw and suck at this game as per usual.
I mean,
You're
you've won
welcome.
twice this year.
I know, but Marty's here and so is Jessica, so it doesn't bode well for me, Nick. It does not bode well.
Yeah, fuck you, Elsie.
Elsie is my joke around. I think Elsie was the one where we were joking around, right?
I
Going
think
for
so.
these points. Was it you, Elsie, or was it someone else where we were like, let's get the least points?
Oh, I mean, I've done that a lot of times.
Yeah. See, I think Elsie and I are just like, fuck it, let's go for like least points.
All right.
Well,
I have my movies for you.
hell yeah.
I wrote them down for you, Nick. I have a list of things.
You are amazing.
Thank you. Okay, so there's so many things we got to talk about, Nick. First off, why is the Mighty Ducks under 10%? Fuck everybody.
I mean, it's not under 10%.
It was pretty low. It was pretty low. I was really sad about it.
21%.
Okay, 21%, but still, I was very sad.
Really low.
That's very low for an enjoyable movie. Next, Kazam was very enjoyable.
You had to have been a kid when that came out for that movie to be
True.
any good.
Yeah, true.
Or someone that enjoys candy. I don't know if anybody else watched it for any other reason, but dreaming of that much candy.
5% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fine, yeah.
You know,
Fair.
Shaq is like 23 in that movie.
Is he really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
He's just a giant baby.
Now, here's one I didn't get, Nick, and I'm very upset because, listen, this movie taught me so many things. This series was it was so pivotal, and it taught me a lot. It taught me don't stand in certain places. It taught me Murphy's Law. It taught me if there is an axe that is within 2 miles of you, it will chop something on your body off. And that is urban legend.
Fucking choice.
Amazing choice. 24%.
Thank you.
Hold on. How does urban legend have higher percentage than the Mighty Ducks?
All three of them. First two have 21, the third has 20.
I have so many questions and so many emotions right now. Sorry,
I
JD.
think they forgot that Mickey Rooney was in the Mighty Ducks. Or maybe he was the 21%.
I've always said that about Mickey Rooney. He's the 21% and he has to be brought down.
I feel like the scene of them rollerblading through the Mall of America should be like 20% just on its own.
Yeah.
It is. They hated the rest of the movie.
Yeah, the rest of the movie was like, bleh.
Yeah.
Well, real fun suggestions. Great suggestions all around, everybody. Thank you for bringing more great bad movies into my life. Before we get to the real game, let's play another round of keywords to see who's going to go first in picking the years. Who's going to go
not
the same way?
I have yet to get one of these.
Let's see how you do on this one. This movie has the keywords childhood flashback, title spoken by character.
The Mighty Ducks?
It is the Mighty Ducks, JD.
Oh my god.
That's how I knew that it did not have a 10% on Tomatoes.
The way you whipped that out so fast with the percentage, I figured it was somewhere in this show. Not expected to be the first thing. Jesus Christ. Good job.
As soon as you said you weren't going to get it, I really wondered.
Thank you for choosing one of the three movies I know. I appreciate
I
that.
was flabbergasted when that was the first movie you mentioned, knowing that I do not give myself options on these games. I put two together. Well, just so you know, the other keywords in the Mighty Ducks are reference to the Twilight Zone, the Mighty Casey, reference to the Karate Kid, Forbidden Love, Lawyer, Inner City, Misfit, Minnesota, Community Service, Ragtag Team, Time Frame 1990s, Sports Team, Penalty Shot, Girl on Boys Team, Underdog Sport, Ice Hockey, Bird in Title, and Quacking.
Quacking.
Quacking is a keyword.
Yep.
Yes, always.
Well, that means that JD and Jessica are both entering in the main game with 1 point each. JD is picking the year first. Before we get to that, if you're new to this game, here's what's going to happen. I've gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I have pulled parental warnings for a bunch of rotten movies. I don't know who writes these warnings. It's the same people who come up with those keywords. They just continually provide an endless stream of content for me to steal. I'm going to read these warnings. My friends here are going to try to figure out what rotten movie I am warning you against. JD, like I said, you get to pick the first year. And I will say, this skews newer. We got a lot of movies from the 2000s in this game.
Oh,
so
Lord.
JD, would you like a movie from 1998, 2002, or 2018?
1998.
1998. All right. First movie of the night from 1998. No more yelling out. Please raise your hand if you think you know the answer. 1998 for 5 points under sex and nudity. At a regular nightclub, women and men dancing. A man is hitting on a woman, but she doesn't fall for it and walks away. All right, for 4 points under violence and gore, much more gory than the first film by a bit. Jessica has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Jessica?
Species 2?
Excellent guess. It is not Species 2.
There goes my point.
All right, for 3 points under violence and gore. Many people are attacked by the killer, and many deaths are shown on screen. LC has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Elsie?
Scream 2?
It is not Scream 2.
That was a good guess.
I think that also came out, it might have been 97, but like right around that time. For 2 points under violence and gore, a man is impaled by a spear through the back. He falls on a woman, then the killer comes and pushes the spear down, impaling the woman and the man.
Oh.
Marty has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Marty?
I'm gonna take a swing on a movie I haven't seen. Is it I Still Know What You Did Last Summer?
It is I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. 7% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
Wow.
That was a good movie.
I've heard it's not.
I'm
That's why I've never seen
offended.
it.
Final clue under violence and gore, a man has a hook slammed into his hand, pinning him to a table, and then he is impaled by garden shears. His body is later discovered. That means Marty's now in the lead with two, JD at 1, Jessica at 0, LC at -1.
All right.
Brandy
Off to a
was in
hot
that
early
movie.
start.
Right?
Who?
Wasn't Brandy in the second one?
She sure was.
She was in the second one, yeah.
This is why this movie is on the list to begin with. I originally added it for movie starring musicians.
Oh, nice.
Jessica, we're going to go to you now. Would you
Sounds
like
good.
a movie from 2009, 2013, or 2015?
Let's do 2013.
2013. All right. From 2013 for 5 points. Under frightening and intense scenes, the main character yelling all the time can be considered intense. He gets in numerous fights with people. Okay, for 4 points under violence and gore. A man's best friend at work quits the company, and both men cry briefly. For 3 points under profanity, stereotypical references to investors, computer geeks, loners, business people, college students, parents, man, woman, and recreational drug users, and exclamations like "shut up." Marty has a guess.
I have a
Anybody
feeling
else?
I know what it is, but I'm like nervous that I also don't know what it is.
Marty, do you know what this movie is?
Probably not, but I've thought it was maybe this from the first clue. Is this Wolf of Wall Street?
It is not Wolf of Wall Street.
That was a highly rated movie, actually.
It's a bad movie.
It was
I thought
good.
maybe for a second Ron agreed with me. But
All right, for 2 points under profanity, the second F word is used by one of the actors. He is trying to start a war with, quote, "I be fucking M."
I be
Fucking M.
okay. So he's starting a war
Uh-huh.
to be rude.
All right, last
I
clue
know
for
what
1
this
point.
is, and it's driving me crazy.
Under
Like, you
violence
actually
and
know
gore.
it.
Shouting loudly, the head of a computer company calls the head of another computer company and tells the second man, still shouting, that he will sue him for stealing software. The first man hangs up so loudly that the phone breaks. Later, the first man takes out a full page in the Wall Street Journal, denigrating the second man's company and products. LC has a guess. Anybody else? JD's also going to take a guess. JD, what do you think this movie is?
I'm trying to think if I can think of the exact name of it. I know who it's about.
Who's it about?
Steve Jobs. So I'm going to
Okay.
say that's the name of the movie.
LC, what do you want to say?
I am going to take a slight departure and say that the name of the movie about Steve Jobs is called Jobs.
I hate to just give LC the point on this, but because there's another movie called Steve Jobs, and LC got the
with
right
Ashton
one,
Kutcher.
this is the Ashton Kutcher playing Steve Jobs. Jobs.
I didn't even know that was 2013.
Yeah, that movie's 10 years old.
That's crazy.
He had only been dead for like 2 years at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is 28% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I love that people still worship him too.
Ashton Kutcher?
Jobs.
That means Marty still in the lead, now at 1 point. 3-way tie for second. Everybody else is at 0.
It works.
LC, you get to pick this one.
Okay.
Would you like a movie from 1992, 2002, or 2016?
I'm going to go for 2002.
2002. All right, 2002 for 5 points under sex and nudity. Many instances of sexual humor and gross out jokes related to feces, etc. Many innuendos and references to sex throughout. You can't put an etc. after one word. You have not started the list yet.
Sure, I haven't.
All right, JD has a guess. What do you think, JD?
Was this Norbit?
I mean, excellent guess, but it is not Norbit. The Oscar-nominated Norbit. Maybe Oscar-winning Norbit?
Did it?
For
Did
makeup.
it really?
For makeup?
Uh-huh.
Oh, for makeup, I guess I could see, but that movie was like that fucked me up.
All right, for 4 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, several young children are shown being served and drinking Jägermeister shots, and one asks for scotch. 2 of the children are later shown drunk. Okay, for 3 points under profanity, there is sexual humor throughout the movie, but nothing too explicit or graphic, and tamer than most raunchy comedies nowadays, such as Superbad, American Pie, or Scary Movie, meaning that it's fine for teens to watch.
Everybody loves sexual humor and children drinking. Those are fun clues to have next to each other, Nick.
You know what I look for in a movie?
For 2 points under sex and nudity, it is implied that a dog humps several donuts, which people later eat graphically.
I don't like this movie. I don't like this movie. Why are you eating? I'm so grossed out now.
Yeah, it's not a fun scene.
It doesn't sound familiar at all.
It's just like wild to me how much like the middle schooler movie whole genre has shifted, because like we had a movie day on Friday and we told them they could pick any movie under PG and they picked Minions: Rise of Gru. Like blind vote, eyes closed, they voted for Minions: Rise of Gru. So we took social pressure out of the situation. And like
yeah, kids are weird.
Yeah.
Especially these new ones.
These new ones, yeah. They got problems.
Yeah, I think you know more than any of us.
Love him. I love him. I love him.
Last clue for 1 point under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Van's roommate is smoking a bong almost every time we see him. Taj snorts. After Gwen gets mad at him, Van gets drunk.
No.
JD has a guess. Anybody else? All right, JD.
Is this Van Wilder?
This is National Lampoon's Van Wilder.
Take my point back, please. Thank you, Nick.
Currently at 18% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What currently is the new?
It can change. They can find a new review.
How does children doing shots and sexual humor have a higher Rotten Tomatoes score than Sinister 2?
Because people like Ryan Reynolds, I think, maybe.
Why?
Hey, listen, I may be gay, okay? I may be happily taken, but Ryan Reynolds is a lovely gentleman. And that is all I will say, is I am a happily taken person.
He certainly is a witty white man on Twitter.
We got one movie left in this first round. Marty, you get to pick the year. Would you like a movie from 2005, 2010, or 2016?
2005.
2005. All right, for 2005, for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a group of kids were frightened by a character's appearance. He tells them, quote, "Don't do drugs."
Fine. Sorry.
Yep. Okay, for 4 points under sex and nudity, a man is seen shirtless while showing his powers. It is implied that he is naked underneath the blanket he's holding.
Wait, I'm sorry. What is the year for this?
2005.
Oh, what is that movie?
I mean, he's naked underneath the blanket that he's holding.
Yep, man is
What
seen
was the first
shirtless. A group of kids frightened by a character's appearance. He tells them, "Don't do drugs." All right,
Wait. He's terrifying. Don't do drugs, kids. Oh, I've seen this.
Oh,
I know what this is. I can't think of the name of it. I've seen this. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
It is. Hang on. I might.
You know that you haven't buzzed in.
There you go.
All right, now say whatever you want to say. We'll hang out.
Okay, so I've seen this.
Uh-huh.
I could tell you the name of the actor. I'm just waiting for like the title to come to my tongue. Marty, would you like to do a dance?
What?
Would you like to do a dance? I need you to buy me some time.
I think I should just move to the 3-point clue.
I'm really looking forward to getting a hearing test in 2 weeks, man.
All right.
The amount of stuff my students get away with just because I cannot hear them is wild.
Oh, I know what it is.
What is it?
Glad to help.
Isn't it the new guy? No. That's not it. It's the no.
I think I got to go to the 3-point clue, JD.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, great. For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, Ben goes inside a changing machine to become human again.
What?
Ben, you should know this, JD. You know what this movie is.
Apparently I don't. I mean, I'm really glad that we put our hands down when we did.
Ben goes inside a changing machine to become human again.
I have concerns for Ben.
All right, for 2 points under sex and nudity. The comment above is about an invisible woman undressing. She becomes visible when in her bra and panties for about 1 second. The brief kissing scene is at a different time.
I have no idea what this movie is.
I actually don't know what this movie is. Nick.
Yeah?
I know what the franchise is. I think.
I mean, that might help you more than anybody else, Marty. All right.
Can I take a stab at the franchise?
Absolutely.
Is it an X-Men?
It is not an X-Men.
Son of a bitch.
So I think you lose 10 points for that if I'm thinking of all the X-Men movies.
Do it.
No,
Nick, take your fucking points,
one.
Nicholas. Take my fucking points.
Last clue for 1 point under violence and gore. Dr. Doom fires a lightning into a man, leaving a charred hole. Not bloody.
Dr. Doom?
Dr. Doom.
Thank you.
Dr. Doom.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Fires a lightning into a man.
I'm gonna make a guess.
Absolutely. Anybody else want to make a guess?
I don't know what Dr.
Okay, JD, make that guess.
Judge Dredd.
No, it is not Judge Dredd. This movie is...
Nick, that's what needed to happen.
It's at a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is called Fantastic Four.
Oh, God.
Oh. I'm not a superhero person. Please still be my friend.
It's not good.
Is that also a Ryan Reynolds movie?
No, that's Chris Evans, pre-Captain America.
Yeah.
I like X-Men because I'm a homosexual.
Uh-huh.
I don't know any other superhero movies.
All right. Well, we have a 3-way tie for first. Jessica, Elsie, and Marty are all at 0.
Oh, nice.
JD is at -1.
I'm in first.
Yeah!
That brings us to our second mini game. We're doing another multiple choice thing. That means that in a moment, I will read to one of you a question and 4 choices. If you get it right, you get 4 points. If not, the next person gets to answer. They get it right, they get 3 points. If not, next person has a chance for 2 points. If not, last person can get a point if they can remember what movie's left. This game here is based on movies that have a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
0?
That means not a single critic gave it a positive review.
Is that possible?
Sure is.
Apparently.
It's happened quite a few times. JD, I'm going to go to you first because you are in second place. JD,
yes.
Which of these John Travolta movies has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 2005's Be Cool, 1983's Staying Alive, 1983's Two of a Kind, or 1995's White Man's Burden?
Mm. Oh, to be a white man. Poor burdened individuals. Said the brown girl. Elsie's like, lols.
What am I like?
Oh, I lols as in I turned it into a verb.
JD, which of those movies? Be
LOL,
Cool.
Z. I turned it into. I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
Be Cool, Staying Alive, Two of a Kind, or White Man's Burden?
Two of a Kind.
His second pairing with Olivia Newton-John got a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Jessica, is it Be Cool, Staying Alive, or White Man's Burden?
I'm going to pick White Man's Burden.
Surprisingly, 24% for White Man's Burden. LC, is it Be Cool or Staying Alive?
And it's not Battlefield Earth.
Oh.
That's not one of the options here.
All right. Then
Should
I
be.
gotta go with Staying Alive.
The sequel to Saturday Night Fever, directed by Sylvester Stallone, has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. That is 2 points to LC.
There you go.
Did not need a sequel to Saturday Night Fever.
But now he's trying to be a Broadway dancer. And instead of the Bee Gees, you get a bunch of Frank Stallone songs.
But did we need that?
No. Be Cool, the sequel to Get Shorty, has a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. That means, Jessica, we're going to you. Which of these John Travolta movies has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes? Is it Battlefield Earth from 2000? 1992's Look Who's Talking Now? 2009's Old Dogs? Or 2007's Wild Hogs?
I'm going to pick Old Dogs.
Old Dogs, close, but it does have 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. LC, is it Battlefield Earth, Look Who's Talking Now, or Wild Hogs?
I know I just said Battlefield Earth. But I had forgotten about Look Who's Talking Now.
Is that your answer?
Look Who's Talking Now has talking animals, though.
Sure does.
So what kind of critic wouldn't? Battlefield Earth.
3% on Rotten Tomatoes. Marty, Look Who's Talking Now or Wild Hogs?
So Nicholas, here's the thing.
Yep.
A couple days ago, I got curious, so I looked at the list of all 44 movies that have 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Then you will be perfect at this game.
I've been very good at this game so far, but this is the first it's come to me. It is Look Who's Talking Now.
It sure is Look Who's Talking Now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with somehow studying the correct thing.
It was not my intent to study. I just got curious.
Look, and Wild Hogs, the highest there with 15%.
15.
That is 2 to LC, 2 to Marty. LC, you get to go first on this one. Which of these John Travolta movies has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes? Is it 2019's The Fanatic, 2018's Gotti, 2016's I Am Wrath, or 2006's The Punisher?
2018's Gotti.
It sure is 2018's Gotti.
Nice.
Fanatic has 15, I Am Wrath has 11, The Punisher has 29.
Does somebody not like John Travolta? Is this what's happening right now?
John Travolta doesn't like John Travolta.
I think that's Nick.
It's happening.
The Fanatic is a terrible movie that I like and cannot recommend to anybody. It is Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit directed it.
Oh.
John Travolta is playing what I can only assume is an autistic man who is in love with this actor and just wants an autograph from him, played by Devon Sawa. And when he says no, he then breaks into the guy's house.
Oh, isn't that great? More dad queer representation.
Movie.
Check that out.
It is a trash movie that I had fun with, and I feel bad about it. All right, Marty, I have a feeling you'll know what this is, but which of these Nicolas Cage movies has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes? The 2008's Bangkok Dangerous, 2014's Left Behind, 2006's The Wicker Man, or 1997's Face Off?
Oh.
So here's the cosmic joke.
Yeah.
This is the only one I have not known right away. Can you repeat them real quick, please?
Yep. Bangkok Dangerous, Left Behind, The Wicker Man, and Face Off.
I know it's one of the first two.
Really narrowing it down for the next person in line.
All right. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Take it with a grain of salt.
Okay.
I know which one I think it is, so I'm going to go with the other one and say Left Behind.
You went with the right one. It is Left Behind. Bangkok Dangerous has a 9%. The Wicker Man has a 15%. And Face Off is one of Nicolas Cage's and John Travolta's highest rated movies. It has a 92%.
That's...
But I couldn't not do that. That's the fun of the game.
Is Lloyd still watching?
Very good question. No longer commenting.
We lost Lloyd.
Well, that means that Elsie and Marty both ended that round with 6 points.
Nice.
Sweet.
That means that Elsie and Marty are now tied in first place at 6 each. Jessica is at 0. JD is -1 as we go into the back half of this game.
That's a really good score for me. I'm really proud of that, Nick. Okay, like I'm doing good.
I'm proud of you, JD.
Thank you.
Just because the way I'm doing this order, the two of you are right next to each other, I'm going to let Elsie pick the first year for this one. Elsie, would you like a movie from 2002, 2005, or 2009?
Ooh.
I'm going to go with 2002 again.
Okay. Did you go with 2002 last? Oh, yeah, you did.
I did.
All right. Well, this
have
movie
one
came out
bad
the
movie
same
in
year as
mind.
Van Wilder. From 2002, for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. A school play is set in a 1920s speakeasy. There are lines mentioning alcohol as well as liquor bottles being used as props.
What was the year for this?
2002.
2002. Hang on. A little handy dandy notebook here. And wine bottles as props?
Liquor bottles are props in this school play set in a 20s speakeasy. What's over there in your book, JD?
No.
I wrote some things. I wrote
Totally
a few
fine.
titles, okay?
That's fine. There's no rule against that.
I wrote a few titles, and you haven't called on any of them.
That's why there's no
Mighty
rule
Ducks.
against it. All right, for 4 points under violence and gore. A teenage boy jumps from a very high height into a lake as a form of hazing. When he resurfaces, he is not moving and is eventually dragged out of the water. He is conscious but bleeding. The characters later found out to be hospitalized.
For 2002?
Yep. For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, Landon is very moody and gets into a lot of verbal and physical arguments. Some of them can be upsetting to sensitive viewers. He also doesn't want to have anything to do with his father, and he is shown shunning him. There's an emotional apology later, which can make people cry.
Can or will?
Has the possibility.
Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
Landon?
Landon. Uh-huh.
For 2002?
From 2002. This is the movie that had Landon in it.
I'm gonna make a
Whoever he
guess.
is.
I want you to.
I'm gonna be wrong.
All right, JD,
Okay.
what do you think?
Okay, here, I'll raise my hand. We're gonna make it official.
Okay, make it official.
Is this Spider-Man the Green Goblin?
I mean, that's not the name of the movie, or any movie. No, it is not. I'll even give you this. It's not a Spider-Man.
Okay.
Just so you don't keep trying to remember what the title of, I think, Spider-Man is.
I was thinking of Spider-Man. Probably. Yeah.
For
You know,
2
I'm
points.
gonna go make beautiful art. Hang on.
Okay. For 2
There we
points
go.
under profanity, note, with Jamie being the preacher's daughter, there are several religious names used, both as exclamations and in proper context.
Wait, she's the preacher's daughter?
The preacher's daughter.
And her name's Jamie.
Sure is. LC might know what this movie is. Anybody else? What do you think, LC?
Is it? Wait. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's hazing. God jumps in a lake and dies.
He doesn't die. He's
There's
hospitalized.
cursing. A speakeasy. Preacher. Okay. Okay. So is this? This is a Nicholas Sparks book that was a movie. A Walk to Remember.
Surprisingly, A Walk to Remember has a 27% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
You
This
guys are
is A
dicks.
Walk
That
to
was a
Remember.
delightful movie. You all are assholes.
I had to check multiple times because I know so many people who love this movie.
I'm so
Last clue in that, under violence and gore, Jamie reveals she has leukemia, and she passes out in one scene. We see her in the hospital, hooked up to IVs and an oxygen tank. She looks frail afterwards, and it's revealed that she passes at the end, although we do not see the actual death.
See, I was thinking either that, but there was no way, because why? Why would that have such a low rating?
Very good question. I can't answer.
That's such a good movie.
That means LC has pulled into the lead at 8, Marty at 6, Jessica at 0, JD at -2. Also, I keep just checking the YouTube to make sure we're still streaming, because I just have a note on my Zoom that says preparing live stream, and I don't know what that's all about, but I think we're still going. Anyway, Marty, you get to pick this next movie.
Excellent.
Would you like a movie from 2009, 2015, or 2018?
I know it's not going to be it, but 2015.
2015. Have we or have we not used that on the show? And by we, I mean you.
I have used it. No one got it.
All right, from 2015 for 5 points, under profanity, quote, effin is used in place of the F word twice. Some light profanities, but surprisingly, not as excessive as many other recent movies.
What was the year?
2015. Effin. For 4 points, under frightening and intense scenes, a rotted corpse jumps out of the ground. Also, they say effin.
The corpse says effin? That's impressive.
I didn't know they could do that.
Down.
That should just be the title of a movie. The corpse says effin.
Right, yeah.
I'd watch that.
Corpses that are moving of their own accord?
I mean, that's a very good question. For 3 points, under frightening and intense scenes, a paranormal activist, when he is finding his screwdriver, then from the end of the screwdriver comes to his body closely and he shouts. That's a real confusing sentence to try to read what words they wrote down.
I've seen this.
A paranormal activist, when he is finding his screwdriver, then from the end, the screwdriver comes to his body closely and he shouts.
So he's looking for a screwdriver.
No, he
and
found
then it makes him want to shout. He heels up and shout.
Comes
Come
close
to.
All right, for 2 points, under frightening and intense scenes, a man sees his reflection in the kitchen faucet and hallucinates that his eyes and nose are bleeding black goo. He looks in the sink and to see black goo, maggots, and worms.
He needs to clean that sink.
I can picture all of these scenes and cannot place them in a single movie.
All right, last clue for 1 point, under frightening and intense scenes. A boy is attacked by a toy clown.
What?
A boy is attacked by a toy clown.
What's the year?
Jessica has a guess. 2015. Marty also has a guess.
A toy clown?
A toy clown.
As in it's not real.
As in it's a toy. It's a clown.
It's a clown.
All right, Marty, what is this movie?
Is this the Poltergeist remake?
Jessica, what do you think?
It's the Poltergeist remake.
29% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is the Poltergeist remake.
Why are we remaking that? It was done well. Now we're just like wasting money making
I
bad
will
movies.
say, like, the original Poltergeist is a top 10 movie for me of all time. I didn't hate the remake. I thought it was fine. It had a couple of decent moments.
Yeah, I agree.
I will say
I don't remember that
original.
That's a PG-rated movie, Marty. The kid should have picked that.
They should have, but they picked Rise of Gru. I picked that when I was extremely drunk in New Orleans with my sister. That's why I don't remember the context of any of those scenes, but remember them very well.
All right, that means Elsie's at 8, Marty is at 7, Jessica is at 1, JD is at -2. We have 2 movies remaining before the final round. JD, would you like a movie from, where are we? 1992, 2010, or 2016?
1992.
1992. Sadly, the oldest movie on the list tonight.
That's right.
All right, 1992 for 5 points under violence and gore. The main character gets forcibly ejected from a bar by the bartender.
Hang on.
Yep. All right, JD, what have you got?
This is the Mighty Ducks.
It is not the Mighty Ducks.
He gets kicked out of the bar, though. That is the scene that happens, I promise.
You already got a point off of the Mighty Ducks, and we can consider that the point that you lost. For 4 points under sex and nudity, the main character hugs and gropes mothers on field, making sexy comments.
I'm sorry, what?
The main character hugs and gropes mothers on field, making sexy comments.
Just the mothers, though?
And not the fathers.
Wait, this is the main character?
Main character, our protagonist. All right, Elsie, what have you got?
Rodney Dangerfield movie Ladybugs.
Elsie, do you like ladybugs?
I liked it when I was a kid.
It has a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is Ladybugs.
Nah.
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Yeah, I forgot it existed.
Also in Ladybugs under profanity, a few uses of shit, ass, asshole, and a double entendre about soccer balls. Quote, I got a lot of balls. Violence and gore, boy in drag getting hit in the groin with a soccer ball. And sex and nudity, basic Dangerfield gags that aren't watered down, just the profanities removed. That brings Elsie up to 12, Marty at 7, Jessica at 1, JD at -3. Marty, you really need this next one, I think. I believe Jessica gets to pick the last movie. Jessica, would you like a movie from 2005, 2009, or 2016?
2009.
2009.
Is JD still here?
I think so. JD goes in and out. Oh, JD isn't even listed anymore, huh?
Oh.
Well, that's a very good question. What happened to JD? Well, let me check on JD and make sure. Talk amongst yourselves. We'll give it a couple minutes, and if JD doesn't come back, we'll just keep playing this game. I have a feeling it won't affect the scores too much.
Probably not.
Well, we are still live streaming. That's good. JD is coming back. We're all waiting. We're so excited. JD's phone died.
That's what I figured.
I don't know how JD is coming back. Well, you know what? Let's start this final round. And we can always repeat the clues, because usually JD asks me to anyway.
True.
So this last movie from 2009 for 5 points under sex and nudity. A woman slaps her bare leg, swatting away a mosquito, and a man makes a sexual remark inviting her to do that again.
What year?
2009.
Gross.
Perfect timing. JD is re-entering the game. Maybe. JD has disappeared again. I'm just going to assume JD's phone is dead. We will give them another opportunity to get points on this one if they're able to come back. For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes. The movie contains many intense scenes, since it is a horror film. Marty has a guess. Hey, JD.
Hi.
Hi, everything okay? Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
Please excuse my phone. She was being herself.
Totally okay. Before I go to Marty for an answer, I'll read you the 2 clues that we've gone through.
Yes, please.
2009 is the year. Sex and nudity. A woman slaps her bare legs, swatting away a mosquito, and a man makes a sexual remark inviting her to do that again.
A man makes a sexual remark about
her slapping away a mosquito on her leg.
Okay.
And frightening and intense scenes. The movie contains many intense scenes since it is a horror film.
It's a horror film.
It sure is.
Okay.
Do you have any guesses? You don't have to have one.
No.
All
no,
right.
I don't. That's
Marty, what do you think this movie is?
Is this the Friday the 13th remake?
This is the Friday the 13th remake.
Nice!
Which I stand by is in the upper half of Friday the 13th movies.
The only one I haven't seen.
It's fun. Like, it's one of the better Jasons. He's just a guy who wants people to leave him alone.
I don't think I've seen it. Interesting.
Also in Friday the 13th, under violence and gore, a man stabs the villain repeatedly with a fireplace poker. We see some blood on the villain's shirt and leg from the attack, but nothing too bloody. Violence and gore, a man gets stabbed repeatedly through the hands and feet by the villain's machete. The villain eventually bursts through the floor and impales the man on the machete and pulls him back through the floor. And violence and gore, in the opening of the movie, there's a flashback to the original movie. We see the lone survivor of the killing spree attacking the villain's mother with a machete. We do not see the impact of the machete, but we see her head fall onto the ground and see blood. Afterward, we see the villain come up to her body and pick up the bloody machete. We see her body, headless, lying on the ground. That means going into the final round, LC is at 12, Marty is at 11, Jessica is at 1, JD is at -3, which means betting will be super important in this round. What's coming up is the final round. In a few moments, I'm going to ask you a question with a number in it.
That's exciting.
This will be related. I'll give you a little category. This is related to movies that critics and audiences disagree on. What I want you to do right now with that information is send me a bet between 1 and 10 privately here on Zoom. If you get the person closest to the answer gets their points. If you get it exactly right, I'll give you an extra 3 points.
Can you repeat the scores currently one more
time? Sure can. You're at 11. Elsie's at 12.
Excellent. That's all I need to know.
So between 1 and 10.
Oh, Marty, nice to know.
Very proud of that. Not proud of the sending to everyone instead of Nick, but very proud of it.
Elsie, if you want to like strategize accordingly.
All right.
I'm gonna send Nick a different number.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my goodness. I already sent Nick my number. I think he knows what we're doing.
All right. I've got all of your bets in right now.
Yeah, buddy.
We've been talking about movies that have rotten ratings under 30%. Like I said, some people disagree on these movies. For example, the cult classic The Boondock Saints.
What? That
has a
27%
critical rating on Rotten Tomatoes. All I ask you is, what is the audience score out of 100? Privately message me what the audience rating is out of 100.
Excuse me?
Yep.
Excuse me? Is this Boondock Saints or Boondock Saints 2?
This is Boondock Saints.
The first one.
Critics.
May we have the year of that movie?
I mean, no, you may not. I did not write it down. So, critics, it's at a 72%. Audiences, what do they have it at? I see a guess from LC here.
You said 72% or 27%?
27% is critics.
Wait,
what do
27?
audiences think?
I don't know what it is. I don't know why I'm clarifying. It does not affect my answer in any way.
I can tell you that audiences disagree.
Yeah. Well, I should have picked
see
a different number.
Jessica has sent in. I see JD has sent in.
Mine is definitely wrong.
Marty, did you send? Oh, there you are.
Sure did. I sent it to you this time too.
Yeah, you did. All right. Well, I can tell you, JD guessed that audiences have it at an 89%. Jessica said 56%. LC guessed 81%. Marty guessed 85%. Currently on Rotten Tomatoes, Boondock Saints is at 91% fresh by audiences. A difference of 64%, which is more than the threshold of a fresh movie.
I almost guessed 92, Nick.
Which means Jessica is 35 points off.
Yeah.
It will lose your bet of 10 points.
Yep.
LC is 10 off, losing your bet of 10 points. Marty is 6 off, losing your bet of 5 points. But JD, only 2% off, getting your full 10 points. Our final scores tonight. Jessica at -9.
Woo!
LC at 2.
So proud.
JD and Marty. Marty is at 6. JD is at 7. JD has come from behind and won this episode.
Marty's gonna quit.
Marty will never come back on this show.
I'm like done. So like here's the thing. I really like everybody in this game tonight. And I'm like simultaneously so happy for JD and so proud of JD. And also I'm gonna fucking die.
Oh my god, I can't believe that happened. Yeah, JD, you won the game tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. So many people to thank. First off, I think this is very important. We need to thank Norman Reedus for being sexy. So thank you, Norman. Let's go ahead and thank him again, actually.
All right. Well, I will be back to you in a second, but before we go, if there is anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, or any last words, now's the time to do it. Jessica, you got anything you want to say?
No, I'm just here.
All right. Always happy to have you here. Elsie, do you have anything you wanna yell at people about?
No, I just love having a job.
Yeah, Elsie, as far as I know, is one of the best workers I know. And really, just completely like necessary, I think, for any workplace.
And she's always talking about how much she loves her boss too.
I've heard nothing about Elsie disliking any. Really, all I've heard is good things about Elsie's boss.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
I think
that's all I ever have to say.
You could say not only is she necessary, but she complements any workplace and deserves a raise for her hard-working ethics. She is a driven team player that was born to lead. Necessary? I gotta teach you some adjectives, my dude.
Marty, do you have anything nice you want to say?
Going back to fucking Wisconsin.
Oh no.
That's only funny if you were in this call before we went online. But
at some point, I need you to re-host this show and just like fucking ruin me. It's only fair at some point.
Yeah,
I will anytime, Nick.
I need you to create something that I cannot win.
Can I be a part of that, Marty?
Absolutely.
so I want to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
I think most people who play this game would like to be a part of that.
Guest-hosted show.
I think instead of 3 contestants or 4 contestants, we should have everybody watch Nick lose.
Yes, right.
What are the rules about giving out the list of movies ahead of time to 3 out of 4 contestants?
I mean
technically,
there's no precedent.
Yeah.
Nothing in the rule books.
Well,
I really need to start writing rule books for this show.
Yeah.
Very first rule, dogs can't play. I think if you're making a rule book based on the case of Air Bud, dogs shouldn't be able to play. Just put that in the rule book. Otherwise, a dog will beat your child in basketball.
Nick, if you want to say my ex can't play, you can just say my ex can't play.
Well, I cut you off, Marty. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Nah, I'm in the Midwest. It's getting warm again, so I'm in the market for friends again. My license finally came in the mail with my updated legal name, so
hell yeah,
we can leave the county. It'd be real cool. That's my pitch.
Finally, our winner tonight, which I think we can all agree is kind of an injustice, but we're proud of him. JD, I'm just thrilled that you win this show now. Do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I actually knew it was either 91 or 92% because I love Boondock Saints so much. I love that movie. You don't understand, okay? Like, listen.
I don't understand because I haven't seen the movie, but I do understand because I live in Boston.
I'm sorry, you haven't seen the what?
Have not seen the Boondock Saints.
Okay, so we know what we're doing tonight, right, sir?
Bone of Lies.
Nick, the next movie you see needs to be the Boondock Saints, and the one after that is the Boondock Saints 2.
All Saints Day.
Do you know how many times you've told me to watch Let the Right One In, and you're sitting here having not seen Boondock Saints?
Oh, I'm sitting on, I think,
Wait a minute.
I have one big one that I think I might just never see. Because I kind of like having not seen it.
Did you advertise my favorite movie? Well done.
But the right one.
But the right one is like my movie.
Good to know. I take JD's opinion very seriously.
That's fine. I've never seen Goodfellas.
Whoa. Excuse me, I also recommend that highly. We're gonna have to talk, Nick.
Like nobody knows you now.
Here's my defense for that.
Who is Nick?
At this point, not seeing it is the same as having seen it.
No.
I'm either going to love it or I'm going to be the person who doesn't like it.
No.
And if I love it,
you're gonna love
fine.
it.
You're going to love it.
But if I don't like it, that's so disappointing to not like a movie everybody likes.
It's like knowing his cousin,
but
it's like he's
everybody likes
anything
it
like
for a
him.
reason.
I'm very
big
much
split.
not.
No? I don't know. He's always like split with movies. It's really weird.
Anyway, JD, did you have any upcoming things this week you want to point people to? Or
yes.
You also are going to be back pretty soon?
I know, right?
Like, you got something at 10? That's the question.
You got something in the next 7 days?
I do. I have some things. First off, I do want to tell everybody about the QT Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
If you have not purchased your tickets, now is a fantastic time to do so. Every one of the 4 nights has an amazing headliner, of whom I can't think of the names of, except River Butcher. River Butcher is fantastic. KJ Whitehead is another one of them. Jessica Solomon is another one, and there is a 4th fantastic headliner that you absolutely should see. So yeah, no, it's an absolutely phenomenal festival. It is. The founder, of course, is a personal favorite person of mine, Sammy James. So yeah, definitely purchase your tickets for that. It's going to be amazing. March 2nd through 5th. And each night has a different lineup. Let's see. So yeah,
you'll be back on the show before then.
I know, but I'm letting people know, get your tickets now. Like, you know, I'm giving people an opportunity. Okay?
Yeah.
Next Monday, if you want to play hooky from watching Inappropriate debate, I personally recommend checking out Mental Health Mondays because Kelly Zemnikis will be my guest. So that's going to be amazing. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, February 13th. Do I have anything else before that?
I think
And then there is one other show that I'm going to be on February 13th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is Emma's Galentine's show. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Fun.
Yeah. And I'll cut it off there.
Well, you were all fantastic people. Thank you so much for playing this dumb game over and over again. Once again, JD Stephans, Jessica Mayotte, Marty Viscosi, Elsie Clark. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Facebook, search Inappropriate Movie Database, or click the link in the description of this video. Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. We do this show twice a week normally. Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. We'll be back on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Josh Poirier's taking over hosting. I get to play the game. We're doing movies featuring wrestlers, of which I assume the show isn't just going to be a collection of like Rock movies plus the 3 Hulk Hogan movies.
So they live.
You assume this, but like, let's wait and see, because it might actually just be a bunch of Rock movies.
I just really want Moana to be on it.
Yeah, and if you want to be a part of the show, go to any of those social places, see what dates are available, what themes interest you, and send me a message. I'd love to put you on. Also, just because JD reminded me of Mental Health Monday, I think my interview's still up on
Yes.
the Instagram page.
Yes, we do get them up.
An hour interview of talking about mental health shit that I really enjoyed doing. If you look for the Get Loud movement on Instagram, it's one thing that I've wanted for a while, and that's a therapy session that I can show an audience. So check that out. Watch more of the show. Go to back episodes. Almost all of these people have hosted this show before, and they've all been on a bunch of episodes. So if you like them here, go watch those.